Hi there and welcome to another Light Rider Tips video, and today I want to talk to you about several things. First, we're going to have a very brief look at DMX and how pan and tilt works on moving heads. We'll then briefly revisit some of the things I looked at in an earlier video around moving heads and limitations. And then lastly, I want to take all of that and show you how you can make much better use of barrel fixtures such as ADJ Warlocks or Martin Wizard Rush. Okay, so let's just take a look at the screen, pop over into Fixtures view and take a look at the gesture spot moving head that I've got out here in front of me. Now, if I look at the pan channel and adjust this manually, you'll see that if I drag the pan channel down to 0, the actual moving head itself moves in a clockwise direction all the way to kind of the furthest point that it can rotate clockwise. If I move that channel all the way up to the top, the values you can see at the bottom of the channel, just beneath the word pan, moves all the way up to 255. And that's the furthest that the head can move in an anti-clockwise direction. So, and if I actually then take a look at what the head is doing, you'll see that the values from 0 to 255 or 255 to 0 are actually 1.5 complete rotations of the head. And therefore, if I put it somewhere in the middle, around a value of about 128, you'll see that the head is approximately halfway through its movement. The same is going to be true of tilt. Now, I'm just going to move the head so that it's pointing towards us. If I look at the tilt channel, the value of, move this manually, the value of 0 points right down to the floor in front of us. And if I move it all the way up to 255, it points at the floor all the way behind us. And surprise, surprise, if you set it at the value in the middle, the head will move and point straight up. Okay, so those numbers and the directions that the head is pointing are all rather important when it comes to setting limitations. So looking at this screen here, you'll see that it's just a square. Now, if I just quickly overlay what the pan and tilt values mean, you'll see that 0 is represented on the left-hand side for pan, and 255 is represented on the right-hand side of the square. As far as tilt is concerned, 0 is right at the bottom and 255 is at the top. So when we drag the corners of this square, sorry, the edges of this square in to set limitations, what we're really doing is telling Light Rider that we don't want the moving head to move outside of those values. Now, if I just drag the left-hand side in, I'm going to set the head so that it's pointing somewhere over as far left as I want it to go. And I'm going to pick the right-hand side and drag this in, and so it's pointing somewhere, so that it's panned as far right as I want it to go. Okay, the top, I want it to be, in fact, right at the top. I want it to be pointing right at the floor. I'm assuming that the head is now pointing at the dance floor in front of us. And the bottom I'm going to drag out, so I definitely don't want it to be pointing at me. Okay, so I want to drag it up so that the head is now pointing at the ceiling. Okay, so what we've effectively done here is told Light Rider that we only want any of the movement patterns to operate within that square. And so those numbers, although we can't see them on the screen, are going to be, so from a pan point of view, are going to be represented by the dot on the left-hand vertical. And on the square on the right-hand vertical is as far as we want this to go. So basically, Light Rider will then operate all of its movement effect functions within this square. So the pan and tilt will never zoom between 0 and 255, but it will in fact be limited to the numbers that we've got on the screen. Okay, if you just want to check where those values are setting, if you just tap the square, and see on the left-hand side, the head will move around. If you tap the square on the right-hand side, the head will move to the right. Tap the square at the top. So you can just do a quick check if you want. You can also put your finger in the center of this box and just move it around, adjust it slightly if you need to. So you can adjust the whole box very slightly if you need to. Okay, so that's what's really happening when you set a limitation on a moving head. Okay, if I just go whiz back to live mode, select the, you can see on the left hand side I've got the kind of stopped movement function. I'm just going to tap the kind of manual position button, and now the dot in the center of the square represents the kind of central point within the limitation that we'd set. So if I move this around now, you'll see that their head will only ever go down to the floor. If I move it to the top, if I move it to the bottom, it will only ever go to the most upward position, which was the maximum position we set in the limitation. If I move it over to the left-hand side, the head will go over to the left if you were stood behind the DJ booth, and if you move it over to the right, it will only ever go that far. So this box here that we're looking at, the overall square, represents the full extent of the limitations that we've set. Okay, so even here, your head will never be able to move outside of the limitations that we've set. Okay, so let's just pop back into fixtures mode now and look at the gesture spot fixture. Now, in this particular view, the limitations don't apply. Okay, so I can still, at this particular point, choose pan and point my moving head absolutely anywhere I like. Okay, because as I said, the actual limitations in this view, in this fixtures view, do not apply. So you can still move it around. So one question I've been asked previously is what happens if I've got an effect that I want to move around on my dance floor and I need to have it limited to just the area of the dance floor. However, I do want to be able to point one of my moving heads at a mirror ball which is right behind me, and I want to set a very specific position. Well, to do that, you would simply set those positions in here. You would simply choose the pan and tilt channels and move them around so that your spot was pointing exactly at your mirror ball, which on this particular instance might be right behind you. Right, okay, now let's move on and talk about barrel rollers. Okay, so I've now changed my moving head for an ADJ Warlock. But before we jump right in and just take a quick look at the channel values and the movement limitations, I just want to take a quick look at the user manual for this particular fixture. And you're going to need to take a look at the user manuals for your particular fixture because they will almost certainly be different. So channel number 1 is pan, and that controls the angle at which the barrel is pointed. Okay, so this particular barrel can spin around about 180 degrees, and we'll just look at that in a second. Channel number 2 is rather more complicated. Now this is tilt, and as you can see, the values here are grouped into a number of ranges. So when Light Rider sends a value of 0 to 9, the barrel will be stopped. From 10 to 120 shows that the barrel will initially at a channel value 10 will be rolling very fast and then gradually slow down until it reaches 120, which is the slowest possible clockwise rotation. Values 121 to 134 will be stopped. 135 immediately go fast again and then slow right down until eventually it stops. So what I'm going to do now is just show you what that really means on the fixture itself. So let's just look at the Warlock. I'm going to tap to manually adjust the pan channel, and then you'll see here if I drag the fader all the way down to 0, the barrel rotates as far anti-clockwise as it will go. And if I move it all the way up to the 255 right at the top, the barrel is effectively rotated 180 degrees. And again, no surprise, if you put it somewhere in the middle, it will be vertical. Okay, so I'm just going to reset that value. Now, this time I'm going to choose to change the tilt value. Now, take a look at what this is going to do. So referencing the numbers in the manuals that we just looked at previously, you'll see that values 0 to 9 are stopped. But then if I slide it up gently to a value of 10, you'll suddenly see what happens. The barrel is now spinning, if I can get a hold there, very quickly. And then as I continue to increase the value, it will eventually slow down until I get to a value of about 120, 121, and then eventually it will stop. So it's got slower and slower until it stops. Oops, stopped. Gone a bit too far. Okay, when I nudge it back up to up even further to 135, you'll see it goes from stopped to then suddenly spinning wildly in the opposite direction, and then it gets slower and slower and slower until eventually I get all the way up to 245 when it will have stopped again. There you go, so it's stopped. Now the reason that's important, and the reason we need to understand that, is because Light Rider, when it uses movement effects, constantly sends tilt values to your moving heads or your light fixtures. And if those values happen to fall into one of those ranges, then the barrel is going to spin at that speed. So let's say Light Rider, as part of one of its kind of movement effects, sends values in the region of kind of like 10 to 20. Your barrel is going to be spinning rapidly. The effect on the dance floor is going to be quite massive, and it's probably going to make some people feel quite ill. So what I want to do is show you how we can use the limitations, the movement limitations, to make sure that Light Rider never strays into the values that would make the barrel scroll quickly, and only ever uses values that make it roll at a very sensible speed, so that we don't start making people feel poorly. So a quick look at the chart suggests that numbers in the kind of 80 to 120 region are probably fairly safe, as are numbers in the 180, maybe 200 to 245. But what we can do more simply is to switch over to the limitations view and just drag the edges of the square to show us where the barrel roller is moving. So right now the bottom square is at 0 and the top square is at 255. Okay, so I'm going to just drag the bottom one up. Now we don't know on the screen exactly where the value of 200 is, but we can get a pretty good indication by looking at the actual barrel roller and seeing how fast it's scrolling. So I'm going to move it up here. Now I'm guessing that's somewhere in the kind of 180 190 region. We don't know for sure, but what we can see is that the further I move the square up, the slower the barrel goes, and the further I move it back down again, the faster it goes. So what I need to do is find the lowest point that I'm comfortable with as far as this barrel roller is concerned, and I'm going to go about there. I can see the movement effect on the ceiling in the room here, and that is about as fast as I'm ever going to want this barrel to roll. Okay, I could, if I wanted to, set limitations on the pan as well, so that it doesn't actually kind of rotate both as far left and as right as it's possible. But actually, we can also adjust those values in Light Rider elsewhere. So I'm going to just leave those as they are. Go back to live mode, and what we should be able to see now is what those effects look like for real. So as you can see on the right hand side on the effect section, sorry, the left hand side for the movement effect section, I've currently got this set to stopped. If I choose one of the pan only, what we should see is my barrel rolling all the way from side to side. It's not, sorry, tilting all the way from side to side, but the barrel itself isn't rolling. I can adjust the size on this. So if I turn the size down, you'll see actually that it no longer goes all the way from one edge to the other. I've now limited the range in which this will move. I can also adjust the speed. So if I wanted to go really slowly, you'll see now that the barrel is now spinning, is rotating nice and gently from left to right. Okay, I can do the opposite and then just have the barrel fixed in one particular position and then rolling from slow to fast, as you can see. So what's happening now is Light Rider is adjusting the barrel roll speed from my nice kind of sensible speed down to stop to game. Now the way that the DMX works here means that there's no way that I can have my barrel kind of change direction, because if you remember the way that the DMX values were set in the chart in the manual, we chose a very specific range in one direction, in clockwise only. Your lighting fixture may allow you to do this, but you will need to know a little bit about DMX and the values to understand how to do that best. But for the moment, this has never really been an issue for me. Being able to scroll in one direction has always worked just fine. If we choose the circle effect, then you'll see that the barrel will actually start to roll and the tilt all at the same time. And so this is just Light Rider treating the Warlock as if it were a moving head, and adjusting the pan angle of the actual barrel itself, and tilt being the roll speed. Again, you've got plenty of control over the speed of this. So if you crank the speed up to maximum, it's going to start moving very quickly. Personally, I think that makes for a bit of a wild effect on the dance floor, so I tend to slow them down a bit. Size also limits the actual amount of movement as well. So if you crank the size right up, you'll see that even though it's not moving particularly quickly, the actual overall kind of scope of movement there is right from kind of edge to edge. So again, use the controls within the effects within Light Rider itself. If you switch to something like the swim or the duck, then you do tend to get some quite interesting effects on the dance floor. Hard to see from the actual video here and what the barrel is doing, but the overall effects on the ceiling are actually pretty cool, and we are seeing the kind of swim type effect that you would get from a moving head. Okay. Lastly, I mentioned at the beginning that if your light fixture has a mirror rotation or a gobo rotation, then that can be mapped to the gobo rotator rotation function within Light Rider. So I am going to I can apply that effect here. So for me now, if I stop the heads, you'll be able to see that they are in fact rotating. The gobos that I can see on the ceiling are now rotating. Okay, so that's it for this particular video. It is rather complex, but it does show you that as long as the profile is set up for your barrel roller fixture correctly, and the individual DMX traits are set properly to pan and tilt as if they were a moving head, then you can absolutely use Light Rider to control all sorts of barrel fixtures successfully. And I've certainly taken my Warlocks out to gigs, and it's worked really well. Okay, so that's it. If you've got any other questions, then yeah, as always, pop over to the Facebook Light Rider Help and Support group, or just pop comments in the videos here as well. I hope you're enjoying this series. Please do subscribe if you're finding them useful. And I will see you next time. Thank you.